This is the entrance to Tham Chintamani, the Wishing Gem Cave, a new place of worship in Chonburi province. Although still closed to the public, in this video, Thailex is granted early access to the site in an exclusive preview, ahead of its mid-2026 opening. Atop the artificial Wishing Gem Cave, stands Pho Ngo, a figure from Thai classical literature. Ngo is a member of an aboriginal race, allied to the Negroid pygmies found in the jungles of southern Thailand, who call themselves Mani, are dark-skinned and have curly hair. In the story of Sang Thong, a young prince had bathed in a pond of liquid gold that transformed anything immersed in it into pure gold, hence turning himself into a gold-skinned boy. One day, fleeing a city to escape a man-eating giant, and fearing that his golden body would attract unwanted attention, the Golden Prince disguised himself as a member of the Ngo tribe, with a black skin and curly hair. As a result, Ngo figures came to symbolize hidden wealth, and representations of Ngo are today believed to attract gold and prosperity. We now enter Tham Chintamani, the cave of the wish-fulfilling gem, its name representing a treasure that is hidden, unseen, and accessible only through wisdom and right intention. This idea is echoed in the figure of Ngo, from the story of Sang Thong, who by concealing his true nature beneath a crude and rejected disguise, symbolizes hidden wealth. Together, the Chintamani wishing gem and the story of Sang Thong teach us that true value and virtue are often hidden from view, and revealed only to those willing to look beyond outward appearance. Work in the cave is still in progress, and many of the statues and objects intended for display have yet to be put in place. Some areas are not yet lit. In the main chamber stands a giant cone mask, an enlarged replica of a stylized mask used in traditional Thai classical dance. The mask depicts Ru Si Nasu, a revered hermit with the head of a tiger, a figure associated with spiritual power, ascetic practice, and mastery over the natural and animal realms. This figure represents a Sethi, literally a wealthy person, or millionaire. In a Buddhist context, the term refers not merely to material wealth, but to those who use their riches in acts of generosity, merit-making, and support of the Buddhist community. Such individuals are praised for transforming wealth into compassion and selflessness. Among other statues, yet to be installed in their designated locations, I recognize Jivaka, the personal physician of the Buddha, the traveling monk Prasiwali, and several of the Lokapala, the guardians of the world who preside over the four cardinal directions. Then, in the dimly lit space among the coiled bodies of mythical Naga serpents, my attention is drawn to a glow of light coming from an adjacent chamber. This artificial grotto, shaped by niches and rocky outcrops that serve as natural-looking shelves, contains a collection of cone masks depicting characters from Thai lore and mythology. Many of the masks depict rishi or hermits, revered ascetics in Hindu and Buddhist tradition who are associated with spiritual knowledge, meditation, and mastery of sacred sciences. Alongside these are masks representing ogres and figures of Ngo, characters drawn from Thai folklore and classical literature. There are also masks depicting characters from the Ramakien, such as the white warrior monkey Hanuman and the giant Tao Wetsuan, as well as some of the human protagonists of Thailand's national epic. The mask on the right depicts Sihu Ha Ta, a legendary bear-like creature, with a blackish fur, 4 ears and 5 eyes, said to feed on red-hot charcoal, which it then excretes as pure gold. Each masked character can be identified through facial color and the shape and decoration of the headdress, which reflect the character's nature and rank, and allow audiences familiar with Khön to recognize figures instantly. The size and ornamentation of the headdress indicate a character's role, importance, and status, while facial features help distinguish gods and heroes from demons and villains. Hermits may have human or animal features and are typically depicted wearing tiger skin garments with a headdress decorated with simple painted patterns suggesting leaves, bark, or natural textures. Besides the collection of Khön masks, the cavern also houses a statue of a hermit seated in the half-lotus position, with the right foot resting on the left thigh and the left foot placed beneath the right thigh, as he reads from a palm leaf manuscript. The exit of the cave is flanked by two mythical serpents known as Naga, shown here in semi-human form, and in the Namadsakan pose, with their hands brought together in a gesture of greeting and reverence, akin to the Thai Y. In front of the cave stands a large joss stick pot, or incense burner, adorned with two dragons and a phoenix. Atop the cave, behind a gigantic black, nine-headed Naga, rises the statue of Pho Ngo, currently the largest of its kind in the world. Brahma, the Puranic creator god, is depicted with 4 heads, said to represent the 4 Vedas. His attributes include a string of beads, used to mark the passage of cosmic time, and the Vedas themselves, symbols of sacred knowledge. Surrounding the courtyard are cave-like niches, each housing a particular deity. Female deities include Mae Po Sop, the rice goddess, portrayed holding ears of rice. Kong Ka, the goddess of waters, seated upon a makara. Thorani, the earth goddess, shown wringing water from her hair. Mae Prapai, the goddess of wind and air. And Mae Praplong, the goddess of fire, encircled by a halo of flames. Male figures include the 7 deities associated with the days of the week. Prachan, seated on a horse for Monday. Prankhan, seated on a buffalo for Tuesday. Praput, seated on an elephant for Wednesday. Praparuhadsabodhi, seated on a deer for Thursday. Prasuk, seated on an ox for Friday. Prasau, seated on a tiger for Saturday. Sometimes alternatively shown seated on a serpent or naga, protector of the earthly waters and the symbol of fertility, steadfastness, wealth, and abundance. And, bringing the sequence to a close, is Prapathit, seated on a lion for Sunday. The next statue depicts Rahu, the demon of darkness who causes the eclipses of the sun and moon, standing upon Garuda, a savage fire-breathing bird, large enough to blot out the sun, and wings that create hurricane-like winds that darken the sky. Next are the Bodhisattva Kshitigarbha, holding a Chintamani, but without his usual Kakra beggar's staff, and a monk seated in the lotus position, in which the legs are crossed on top of each other, with the feet resting on the opposite thigh, the sole of the feet up. Here, another Rasi Nasu, a tiger-faced rishi, depicted as a recluse wearing a cone mask in the form of a tiger. This figure embodies the union of the tiger's raw power, authority, and ferocity, with the wisdom, ascetic discipline, and spiritual mastery of the hermit. A mermaid, a legendary being with the head and upper body of a woman, and the shimmering tail of a fish, a creature that appears in many legends and folk tales across Southeast Asia. As the final figure in the collection, we encounter a rare and unusual statue from outside mainstream mythology, Krut Nan Nokuk, the owl-faced Garuda, this mythical figure combines Garuda, the powerful divine birdman of Hindu Buddhist tradition, with the face of an owl, a bird long associated with wisdom, vigilance, and the night. Together, these elements suggest strength and authority, guided by insight and keen perception. As I make my way back toward the entrance, I reflect on the piles of gold-colored coins visible at the base of many of the statues, underscoring the role of Tham Chintamani as a place for wealth-related aspirations, where visitors would come to seek prosperity, success, and favorable outcomes grounded in belief, intention, and merit. The path is decorated with yin-yang symbols, representing balance, harmony, and the interplay of opposing forces, while it is flanked by statues of elephants, long regarded in Thai and wider Asian traditions as symbols of strength, stability, wisdom, and auspiciousness. Tham Chintamani is a privately founded, merit-focused spiritual center, established by Ajahn Kaur, a lay spiritual teacher. The site reflects a form of Thai syncretic spirituality that blends Theravada Buddhist concepts of merit and barami, spiritual perfections or accumulated merit, with long-standing folk beliefs in protective spirits. Across a pond, adjacent to Tham Chintamani, stands another statue of Chow Not, visible only from behind. It also belongs to this site, located at house number 999/99, and known as Ban Puta Barami Not Khao, literally the house of the ninefold Buddhist virtues, a name referring to auspicious spiritual power and accumulated merit rooted in Buddhist belief.